Hello and namaste. Welcome back to Temples, Books and Science. I am Archana Raghuram and I'm thrilled to continue our journey through the profound depths of the Lalitasahasranamam. In the previous episode, we encountered two powerful goddesses, Sampatkari, the wise leader of the elephant army, and Ashwaruda, the fierce commander of the cavalry. They taught us the importance of mastering our minds and senses, the foundational steps on the path to self-realization. Now, get ready to delve deeper into the mystical realms of the Lalitasahasranamam as we uncover the secrets of the divine chariots and the transformative power of knowledge. Let's begin with the 68th name, Chakraraja Ratharuda Sarvayuda Parishkrita. This majestic name means she who is mounted on the chariot of the king of chakras, adorned with all weapons. But what exactly is this Chakraraja Ratha, this chariot of the king of chakras? You guessed it right, it's none other than the Sri Chakra itself. The Sri Chakra is not just a symbol or a diagram. It is considered the very form of the goddess Lalita Tripurasundari herself. In fact, Lalita Tripurasundari has three manifestations: the gross form as an image, the subtle form as a mantra, and the supreme form as the Sri Chakra. These three are interconnected. The Sri Chakra is considered the ultimate expression of the goddess's form, the most accurate representation of her divine essence. These three manifestations represent different levels of reality and different ways of accessing the goddess's divine energy. The image is the gross form, accessible to our senses. The mantra is the subtle form, accessible through sound and vibrations. And Sri Chakra is the supreme form, representing the ultimate reality beyond all names and forms. Here's how Sri Chakra embodies the goddess. The central point of the Sri Chakra, the Bindu, represents the primordial source of creation, the undifferentiated consciousness from which everything arises. This is where Lalita resides in her purest form, as the ultimate reality beyond all names and forms. The 9 interlocking triangles represent the dynamic interplay of Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine principles that create the universe. Lalita, as the embodiment of Shakti, is present in each of these triangles, symbolizing her all-pervading nature. Think of it this way: the Sri Chakra is like a map of the cosmos. At the center is the Bindu, the point from which everything emerges. The Sri Chakra, with its intricate patterns and layers, represents the entire universe that unfolds from this central point. So when we say Lalita Devi is riding the Chakraraja Ratha, it means she is riding the cosmos itself. She is the source, the sustainer, and the energy that permeates the entire universe. We should also remember that Lalita is Vishwa Vigraha, Swatmaiva Devata Prokta, Lalita Vishwa Vigraha, the personification of the universe. So when the name describes the goddess as riding the Sri Chakra, it's like saying your soul is riding your body. They are inseparable, two aspects of the same reality. Just as the Sri Chakra represents the entire cosmos at a macroscopic level, it also mirrors our own inner world at a microscopic level. The various triangles and circles within the Sri Chakra can be mapped into different chakras and energy centers within us. For example, the central Bindu represents the Sahasrara Chakra, the crown chakra, which is considered the seat of pure consciousness. The surrounding triangles and circles represent the other chakras, starting from the Mooladhara Chakra at the base of the spine and moving upwards to Agnya Chakra between the eyebrows. With this in mind, let us examine the term Sarvayuda Parishkrita. This means adorned with all weapons. The word Parishkrita means adorned or equipped, signifying that the goddess is fully prepared and empowered with all the necessary tools to overcome ignorance. The Chakraraja Ratha is adorned with all the weapons. But these are not ordinary weapons. They represent the various tools and resources we have at our disposal to fight the inner battle against ignorance. These could be our knowledge, wisdom, discrimination, courage, and other positive qualities. This name implies that all the weapons needed to destroy ignorance are right here within us. We don't usually think of weapons as adornments, but in this context, they represent the positive qualities that adorn our inner being. They are the true ornaments of a person, making them beautiful from within. That is why the name describes her as being adorned with all the weapons. Sarvayudha Parishkrita. So, Lalita Devi seated on the Sri Chakra chariot, adorned with all weapons, is like the charioteer of our lives, guiding us and empowering us on our spiritual journey. She provides us with the tools and resources we need to overcome obstacles and reach our ultimate goal of liberation. There is so much more encoded in this name, but I just want to share one more fascinating detail before we move to the next name. Every chariot has a unique flag, a symbol of its power and purpose. Do you know the name of the flag that adorns the Chakra Rajaratha? It's called the Ananda Dwaja, the flag of bliss. This beautiful name symbolizes the bliss that is the very nature of Brahman, indicating that by conquering the forces of ignorance within, we can attain Ananda, the ultimate joy of liberation. But the Chakraraja Ratha with Lalita Devi at its helm is not alone in this grand procession. Accompanying it are two other magnificent chariots flanking it on either side. The first of these chariots is described in the 69th name of the Lalitasahasranamam. Geya Chakra Ratharuda Mantrini Parisevita. This name, like many others in the Sahasranamam, is rich and multi-layered. Let's break it down and explore its deeper meaning. Geya Chakra refers to a mystical chariot associated with Mantrini Devi, the minister of Lalita Devi. It is said to have 7 tiers or levels, symbolizing the 7 musical notes and the 7 chakras in our body. Mantrini Devi, who is also known as Shamala Devi, is a close companion and minister of Lalita Tripura Sundari. She governs speech, music, and the arts, and is thus associated with knowledge and wisdom. Parisevita means attended by or served by, signifying that Mantrini Devi serves and worships Lalita while riding the Geya Chakra chariot. Therefore, the name can be translated as she who is worshipped by the goddess Mantrini, the divine minister who rides the Geya Chakra. Mantrini represents the mind that is focused on Atma Jnanam, the knowledge of the self. She symbolizes the intellect that is purified and directed towards the divine. But how do we reach this state of focused awareness? It's a journey that begins with self-regulation. The Lalitasahasranamam beautifully illustrates this progression. The first 2 names in the war phase, Sampatkari and Ashwaruda, emphasize the importance of controlling the mind and senses. These are the foundational steps in our spiritual journey. Once we have achieved this level of self-mastery, we can then proceed to invoke Mantrini, the power of focused attention on the Atma. She is the embodiment of the purified intellect, free from distractions and fully dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. But why is this power represented as the goddess of speech and music? Why is she associated with Geya Chakra, the chariot of song? Mantrini represents Mantra Shakti, the power of sound and vibration. This name emphasizes the importance of mantras in our spiritual journey. In the initial stages of spirituality, chanting mantras is considered essential. It helps to purify the mind, cultivate concentration, and create a conducive environment for spiritual growth. This name, Geya Chakra Ratharuda Mantrini Parisevita, highlights the importance of mantras in overcoming ignorance and realizing our true nature. Remember the 64th name which we learnt in the last video, Devarshi Ganasanghata Stuyamanatma Vaibhava. It revealed that all mantras are singing the praise of the goddess. This emphasizes the power of sound and vibration in spiritual practice, suggesting that through chanting and reciting mantras, we can connect with the divine energy and attain higher states of consciousness. The Geya Chakra itself means the song chakra, and it's a beautiful reminder that our breath is the song that our body sings. The sound of our breath itself is a mantra, the Soham mantra, which constantly resonates within us, reminding us of our true identity as the divine self. In yogic traditions, the Soham mantra is considered a natural mantra, intrinsically connected to the breath. Soham means I am that. I am that. It is believed that with every inhalation, we automatically and unconsciously chant So, and with each exhalation, we chant Hum. Together, Soham signifies the unity of the individual soul, Jivatma, and the universal consciousness, Brahman, a constant reminder of our true nature, even when caught in the illusion of separation. By becoming aware of this natural mantra in our breath, we can deepen our connection to the present moment and cultivate a sense of unity with the divine. Soham mantra is like a continuous prayer, affirming our true identity with each breath. Therefore, the Geya Chakra represents Yoga Sadhana, the practice of controlling our breath and senses to attain higher levels of consciousness. It symbolizes the power of yoga to purify the mind and body, preparing us for the journey towards self-realization. The Geya Chakra is said to have 7 levels, which correspond to the 7 primary chakras in the human body. It alludes to the practice of Kundalini Yoga, where the Kundalini Shakti is raised through these chakras to unite with the divine consciousness at the Sahasrara Chakra, leading to liberation. The person who has attained mastery over this Yoga Shakti, who has purified and balanced his chakras, is said to have attained Mantrini Sthiti, the state of focused awareness on the Atma. So the name Geya Chakra Ratharuda Mantrini Parisevita is a beautiful and multi-layered symbol of our spiritual journey. It reminds us of the importance of Mantra Shakti, the power of focused attention, and the transformative potential of yoga. By chanting mantras, controlling our breath, and purifying our chakras, we can align ourselves with the divine energy and attain the ultimate goal of liberation. While the Geya Chakra Ratha and the power of Mantra Shakti guide us towards Atma, the journey is not without obstacles. As we progress on the path of self-realization, we encounter various obstacles and challenges that test our resolve and commitment. This is where the protective and transformative aspects of Goddess Lalita come into play. The 70th name in the Lalitasahasranamam, Kirichakra Ratharuda Dandanatha Puraskrita, reveals another powerful force in Lalita Devi's army, one that helps us overcome these obstacles and move forward with strength and courage. Let's break down this name and explore its deeper meaning. Kirichakra Ratha. This refers to the Kirichakra Ratha, a chariot associated with Varahi Devi. It is said to have 5 tiers or levels, symbolizing the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, and the 5 senses. Dandanatha. This refers to Varahi Devi, the commander-in-chief of Lalita Devi's army and a powerful deity in her own right. She is often depicted with the face of a boar and is associated with strength, protection, and the removal of obstacles. Puraskrita. This means preceded by or led by, signifying that Varahi Devi leads the way for Lalita Tripura Sundari. Therefore, this name means she who is preceded by Dandanatha, who is seated in the Kirichakra chariot. Varahi Devi, as the commander-in-chief of Lalita's army, represents the protective aspect of the goddess. She safeguards the universe. She protects her devotees from negative forces and obstacles on the spiritual path. But she's not just a protector. She's also the Dandanatha, the the goddess of punishment, signifying her role as the upholder of dharma and the punisher of evil. That's why she's always depicted with a stick, a danda, and this is the reason she's called Dandanatha. She's the one who disciplines and corrects those who stray from the path of righteousness. While Mantrini, the goddess of mantras, invokes positive qualities, Varahi destroys negative tendencies. Varahi Devi embodies the dynamic power of the goddess. She is a fierce warrior who destroys negativity and upholds dharma, reminding her devotees of the strength and courage within themselves. Her chariot leads the way, signifying that the first battle in the fight against ignorance is against all the negative tendencies like anger, greed, desire, delusion, arrogance, and dishonesty. These are the first obstacles that a spiritual seeker faces on the path to liberation. So Varahi Devi stands right in the front to overcome these asuras. She is the commander-in-chief of Lalita Devi's army, leading the charge against the forces of darkness. Her chariot, the Kiri Chakra Ratha, is said to have 5 levels, which symbolizes the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. These elements are the building blocks of the material world, and they also represent different aspects of our being, which we need to master in order to overcome obstacles on our spiritual path. Earth represents our physical body and the sense of grounding. Water represents our emotions and the ability to adapt and flow. Fire represents our energy, willpower, and transformation. Air represents our intellect, thoughts, and communication. Space represents our consciousness, the boundless potential within us. By mastering the 5 elements within ourselves, we can achieve balance and harmony in our being. This mastery is essential for overcoming negative tendencies, which often arise from an imbalance in these elements. For example, excessive anger can be seen as an imbalance of the fire element, while excessive fear can be an imbalance of the water element. By understanding and balancing these elements, we can gain control over our negative tendencies and cultivate positive qualities. The Kiri Chakra Ratha, with its 5 tiers representing the 5 elements, symbolizes this process of transformation and liberation. It signifies that by mastering the elements within ourselves, we can transcend the limitations of the material world and attain spiritual freedom. The 70th name, Kiri Chakra Ratharuda Dandanatha Puraskruta, offers a powerful image of Lalita Tripura Sundari as the supreme goddess, guided and protected by the fierce Varahi Devi. By understanding the symbolism of this name, we can invoke the protective energies of Varahi Devi and move towards liberation with courage and strength. This name also completes the triad of chariots associated with Lalita Tripura Sundari. The Chakra Raja Ratha, Geya Chakra Ratha, and Kiri Chakra Ratha represent different stages of spiritual evolution. Together, they symbolize the complete journey of the devotee towards liberation. Now, with Varahi Devi leading the way and the divine chariot prepared, Lalita Devi's army marches towards the capital of Bhandasura's kingdom. The name of the city itself is quite revealing. It's called Shunyaka Pattanam. Shunyaka literally means empty and stands for the world of Maya, which has no real substance. It represents delusion or illusion, indicating that Bhandasura, who represents ignorance, rules over a city of illusion. A fitting metaphor for how ignorance thrives in a world of delusion and impermanence. As the goddess's army reaches the city of illusion, they need to establish a base, a fortress where they can prepare for the upcoming battle. This is where another powerful Shakti emerges, Jwala Malini. Jwala Malini, invoked by Lalita Devi, creates a fortress of fire, a Vahni Prakara, to protect and empower the Shakti Sena. This brings us to the 71st name in the Lalitasahasranamam. Jwala Malini Kakshipta Vahni Prakara Madhyaga. This name means she who is in the middle of a fortress of fire built by the goddess Jwala Malini. But this fiery fortress is not just a physical enclosure, it holds deep symbolic meaning. The fire represents the fire of knowledge, Jnanagni, which has the power to burn away ignorance, avidya, and the karmic impurities that bind the soul. The Jnanagni illuminates the path to self-realization, burning away the veils of illusion and revealing the true nature of reality. It is the light that dispels darkness, the purifying force that transforms our consciousness. Just as the physical fire prevents darkness from entering, the fire of knowledge protects us from the negative tendencies and delusions that arise from ignorance. When we are enveloped in the light of wisdom, the forces of Bhandasura cannot penetrate our being. The prakara or the enclosure in this context can be seen as the world of Maya or illusion, where the individual soul is caught in the cycle of birth and death. Even while residing in this world, the jnani, the one who has attained self-knowledge, remains untouched by its limitations. The fire of knowledge within him burns brightly, illuminating his path and guiding him towards liberation. To fully grasp the significance of this name, let's consider it in the context of the previous ones. We have journeyed with Sampatkari, Ashvaruda and Mantrini, representing the stages of controlling our thoughts, senses and focusing our attention on the Atma. These are the stepping stones that lead us to the fire of knowledge. Having controlled our thoughts and senses, invoked positive qualities and fought off negative tendencies, we are now ready for Jnanam, true knowledge, represented by Jwala Malini and her fortress of fire. This sequence is a deliberate progression. We cannot simply jump into the fire of knowledge without first preparing ourselves. If our minds and senses are still unruly, the fire of knowledge can be overwhelming. But once we have laid the groundwork, we are ready to embrace the transformative power of Jwala Malini. She is the guiding light that illuminates our path, the purifying fire that burns away our ignorance and reveals our true nature. Goddess Jwala Malini herself is a significant deity. She is one of the Nitya Devatas, the goddesses who preside over each day of the month. Jwala Malini governs the day before the full moon, symbolizing the state closest to liberation. The full moon represents liberation, and Jwala Malini, shining with the light of knowledge, guides us towards that state. So the name Jwala Malini Kakshipta Vahni Prakara Madhyaga is not about a physical fortress of fire. It's about the transformative power of knowledge and the protection it offers against the illusions of the world. It reminds us that by cultivating the fire of knowledge within, we can burn away our limitations and realize our true nature as the divine self. And now, with the fortress established and the army empowered, the stage is set for the epic battle against Bhandasura and his forces. From the 72nd name onwards, the Lalitasahasranamam will unfold the dramatic events of this war, describing the strategies employed, the weapons wielded, and the valor of the Shakti Sena as they fight to vanquish the demon of ignorance. Get ready to witness the clash of these cosmic forces and uncover the deeper meaning behind each encounter. So stay tuned as we continue our exploration of the Lalitasahasranamam and delve into the exciting descriptions of this spiritual war. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May the grace and blessings of the Goddess Lalita Tripurasundari guide and inspire you on your spiritual journey. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.